Ever since it was possible to cheat, it has been done. Every time there's a possibility to cheat or to scam or trick other people, someone has tried to do it. And that's just how it is. Some people are just inclined to trick everyone else out of everything they got. And there are so many different scams, especially you have Facebook scams, message scams. You could be catfished or get a fake email. There really are so many different ways to get scammed, especially on the internet now. And also because the internet has become so popular, it has become really hard to know who you're actually writing with. Because you don't have to really know who they are. Yes, of course, you have your Facebook friends, you know who they are in real life. But if you just meet someone on the internet, you got no idea who they are. And that can be really difficult to deal with, especially when talking about scams, because you don't know if the message you got, if the text, the call you got, the email you got, if it's from an actual person or a bot or someone who's kind and nice or someone who's trying to trick you. You really can't really know. It can be really hard at least to differentiate. And again, because the internet has become so popular, another scam has become extra popular. And that's the one we will be talking about today. That is the Instagram ambassador scams. And these are perhaps the ones I see most frequently. And if you don't know what it is, I really envy you. But I'm still gonna tell you what it is. So what is an Instagram ambassador scam? An Instagram ambassador scam is actually where a real or fake brand tries to persuade you to give them your time and money. And they are especially targeting the new and young influencers on Instagram, because these are really excited to start working with an actual brand. So it makes sense for them to scam the ones that could gain the most. And what they will do is they will message you and 1,000 other people via a bot and ask you to become an ambassador for them, or an influencer, or whatever they may call it. And so they will message you, hello there, how are you, something something. Would you like to become an ambassador for us? You will only have to do X, and then we will provide X for you. Not X, but X, because it could be almost anything. So an example would be they would offer you to, if you help advertise their product on your Instagram page, they would in return let you have the product either for free or at a discount. So you say yes, you take the bait, and they will wait for you, because you have to take the first step. You have to buy a thing from them before you can even review it, before you can advertise it. So you buy it, which is, as I said before, you buy it either for free, which means you will have to pay the shipping, but often the shipping is the actual price of the product, so you don't really gain anything from it. Or you can have it at a discount. Nonetheless, you will end up advertising and buying their products for them for pretty much free, because that discount doesn't really help anything. You can't use it for anything. And that's kind of what the scam are. Nonetheless, you will end up using your money to brand another brand, and that is a scam. So for them, they will have free advertisement, and they will also have a loyal customer, especially because some brands, especially clothing brands, they will need you to buy a preset amount of clothes every month. So you'll have to use perhaps $100 every month to keep on being an ambassador for them. So you'll have to pay to keep on advertising for someone else. I hope you can see why this is bad. You don't get anything out of it. And we will be talking a bit about how you can actually see what the red flags are, some of the red flags are, so you can kind of be okay on the interwebs, on the internets, on Instagram, especially so you don't fall into this hole or into this scam. So what signs should you look out for when being treated by an Instagram ambassador scammer? What should you be looking for so you won't get tricked like it is so easy to be? Well, first off, you shouldn't have to pay anything at all. If an actual brand wants to work with you, it would be in their interest to actually give you something for it. So it would either be you getting paid to advertise their products, or you would get the actual product for free. Not for free, where you have to pay shipping, but they will send it to you with no cost for you whatsoever. That would be at least the decent thing to do. They ask you to contact them. The next thing is, if they want you to send a direct message to them, it kind of contradicts what they are trying to do. So they might send you a message telling you to contact them, or they might even comment on one of your pictures. This is especially a bad thing because these comments are made by bots. Nonetheless, if they want to actually speak with you, they should send you a mail. That's what the actual brands usually do. You should have, or usually have, a email address on your Instagram account. So real brands will try to contact you directly on your mail, not as a message, and especially not as a comment, unless it's because you don't have a email on your account. But nonetheless, they should not ask you to ask them, because that just doesn't make any sense. If they really want to work with you, they should ask you instead. And the horrible thing about it, especially when they write on your pictures, write a comment on your pictures, it is again that they are made by bots, these comments, so they send out so many of these all the time, and if just one person takes the bite, then they kind of earned it. They kind of got everything out of it. So just don't respond to those types of comments. Please be careful with it. You don't know who they are. Of course, this isn't a deal breaker per se, because new brands are being formed every day, but if it at least seems kind of legit, it actually could be legit. If you look at the brand itself and it looks a bit shady, then perhaps don't do it. You don't have to 100% completely trust a brand, since there are so many different brands. And again, new ones are formed every day, I guess. So there's a lot of possibility for the brand that contacts you to actually be a trustworthy and legitimate brand. But still, you kind of have to make sure you know who they are. Especially if they want you to brand them, if they want you to show off the products and say what you feel, then you kind of have to know what the brand is about and what they sell. So at least you should expect for them to send you something. If you really don't know who they are, then they should send you something for free to try out so you can actually review it. Or then you should just know what you're talking about. I feel like the bare minimum is actually promoting a brand that you like. Of course, I understand you can end up promoting a brand you're not really that fond of, because it's nice with the money and it's super exciting to work with a brand, but it is common courtesy and very decent to at least like the thing that we say we like. The messages comes from another page than the actual brand page. So if the message you get, either the comment or actual direct message you get on Instagram, if it comes from a page that is not the actual page, you should be wary. Because if an actual brand wants to talk with you, they should be able to message you from the actual page and not with for example, the name, a number, and then the brand name. That is not how they should do it, at least. And it might be because when they message from these name, number, brand thing pages, then it's because it's a bot. So it has been set up so it has the brand name in the name, but it's not the actual brand. And the reason they set up these bots like this is so they can spam you as much as they want. And you can't really do anything about it, because if they get shut down, it doesn't really matter. It's not the actual brand page. So they're just trying to make a lot of these pages where it doesn't matter if they get shut down or if they have to close or whatever might happen, because it's not their actual brand taking the damage. If the language is way too friendly, that might signal that the brand is either very unprofessional or a scam. It could be filled with emojis or hearts, exclamation points, or way too friendly words overall, like if they call you beautiful and sweetie pie and lovely, and you already know all these words. So if they call you any of those or all of those, sometimes all of those, with the emojis, it's just both sketchy, uncomfortable, but also really unprofessional. A real brand would contact you in a more direct or better and more professional way. The delivery time is unreasonably long. So usually brands nowadays take about 7 days to ship. And that's pretty much worldwide. We don't want to wait longer than that. Sometimes it takes 1 or 2 days. Other times it might take a week. It really depends on where the package is coming from. Of course, it could take longer, especially if, for example, we are in a worldwide pandemic. Of course, it might take longer. It might even take 2 weeks, might even take even longer if they can't get the products home. But nonetheless, if the delivery time is more than 2 weeks, I would even say 3, 4. Some actually say you should expect the item you buy to come in 4 weeks. That's just way too long and way too sketchy, and it doesn't make any sense for an actual brand to have to wait that long to deliver something to you. They have ads that ask you to become an ambassador. So if they have ads running on their page where they ask you to become an ambassador or influencer for them, then it is pretty clear to see where they get their money from. They clearly get the money from the ambassadors that fall in the trap and not from actual paying customers. So if an actual brand wanted to collaborate, they wouldn't do it in such a roundabout, everyone is welcome kind of way. They usually have an idea of what they want and who they want, and then they will ask them directly, for example, via mail, as I said earlier. They won't just write you a message on a picture, and they won't ask for you in ads because they know what they want. Their brand page also asks you to DM them to collaborate. This one is pretty close with the ads one I just told you about, but if their brand page tells you to become an ambassador or an influencer, or DM them to become one, or join the family, or whatever they write, whatever roundabout way they use, or write to tell you to become a part of that team, it is possibly a scam. Again, if they write this clearly on their page, their main page, then it's clear where their revenue, where they get their salaries from. It's clear to see that they get the money from ambassadors who fall into trap again, since they brand it so clearly on their page. So please beware if they tell you to become a part of the team, part of the family, or an ambassador or Instagrammer or influencer for them. Please beware. The numbers do not add up. This one I have a few pictures for you just to give you an example in the real world. Unfortunately, it has been a while, or fortunately, it has been a while since I got a DM from a fake ambassador brand thing. So I can't really show you this one, but it is pretty clear to see when you get these messages if the numbers add up. So if, for example, they have a lot of followers, but they don't have any interactions, then it might seem quite sketchy. I took an example and I will put it up here so you can also see it. But if we look at Colourpop Cosmetic, they have 10 million followers, and at the point I took this picture, it was an 11-hour-old post and it had 22,000 likes. A fake brand, for example, it could have 5,050,000 something followers and only 16, 22 likes. So it might be a sign that they have bought the followers instead of actually earned them. Unfortunately, I can't just put up a list of scammers here. I wish I could do that, but because it really differs with these scammers, like they can change their name, they can change their profile, they can open it, they can shut it down. It can also be shut down from the outside if they have been told that the brand is a scam, then it might be shut down like that too. They have so many ways of things they can do where perhaps the brand isn't even there tomorrow. So to me, it doesn't make any sense for me to make a list of the brands you should be aware of, because they might not be there tomorrow. So instead, you should look for the signs I put up. I will just put them in the description box below, then you can just read them if you forget them, or write them down if that's easier. But nonetheless, look for the signs, and please remember that everything isn't actually as great as it seems, and even though it's easy to become really excited when a brand reaches out to you, please beware and remember that not everything is as great as it seems. It could be a scam, so please be careful, look at the signs and think, or perhaps just write them before you actually do anything else. If you think perhaps it's legit, write them back and ask them what they think or what they want to do, and if they were going to send you anything, just make sure that you don't have to pay and you don't write to them first, I guess. Nonetheless, that's kind of it for today. I hope you learned something, and I hope you never experience any of these scams. I hope you really look out for the signs and take care of yourself. If you like this video, you can choose to give it a thumbs up, a like, whatever it is down below. You can also choose to subscribe to, well, get notified whenever I upload. Ring the bell too, so you will know. And that's simply all. I really hope you stay out of it, you won't get scammed at all, and I just hope you all have a happy life one day at a time.